Hello everybody, welcome to another daily dose of gaming news and all that good stuff. And as always, I publish everything on Rumble, on the blogger site as a post archive thingy. For extra support, everything is also done on Patreon, and any kind of updates and such I usually do on the Twitter X thing, especially regarding live streams. Yesterday I did a live stream. I don't know when I will be able to upload the VOD, around 2 to 3 days usually. But I will be managing to upload the previous, so it will be episode 21 VOD, which is from 22nd March, I think. But yeah, and later today we will have the last episode from Jedi Fallen Order. I wrapped up the series there. Very relatively short series, but yeah, the story is simple. But I give my overall thoughts and some nitpicks that I had throughout the gameplay. And Jedi Survivor seems to go around fixing some of those issues that I had. But yeah, I know that there's some performance optimizations that they still didn't fix, and I think they will not fix on Jedi Survivor. But again, I'm very early. I just recorded like 2 episodes from Jedi Survivor. It will be replacing the slot that I have for Jedi Fallen Order, and in the meantime I will continue also until the end with Mutant Year Zero, and after that I will maybe do the Dead Space remake. I've been doing some testing, trying to get it as smooth as I possibly can without damaging too much the graphic fidelity there. But yeah, and again, my schedule streaming, I cannot commit to a fixed schedule, mainly because of my freelance work. When I have time, I just jump in, and at least for a couple of hours I usually do that. Usually lately I got managed to get around 3 hours or so the live stream. But yeah, just a quick note regarding live streams. I know I watched recently some past live streams, and the video file for the live stream on Rumble is not in the... got still a little compression. I will try to get around, see if I can mitigate a little bit. I think I will start streaming. I will try the next stream instead of 60 frames, streaming at 30 frames to see if the compression is reduced, because I will maintain the bitrate. And I'm assuming, again, I'm not an engineer, but I'm assuming that for the same type of bitrate, with less frames, at least the compression will reduce a little bit. We'll wait and see, or else I will have to do maybe 720, streaming at 720. Again, I hope Rumble will at least upgrade their servers to accept at least H.265 codec there, because 264 demands a lot of bitrate to have a proper quality there. And again, on YouTube, now I'm streaming 1080p, mainly because of constraints regarding Wi-Fi. But yeah, basically that's it that I got for the channel. Again, every day I try to bring the most up-to-date news regarding the channel schedule there. Let's go to the news. So, got some interesting news here regarding Microsoft, the DirectSR API. I think this is a completely different API, so it's not... I'm not sure if it is related to the DirectX 12 specifically. I think it's like an extra branch of the DirectX API's versions in an overall, because this is for FSR, not FSR specifically, but for upscaler technology. And basically what they did, usually given that when you don't have like a standard in terms of how upscalers work, it's bound to happen for the sake of simplicity and implementation. So sometimes it appears this kind of solutions, which is in this case from Microsoft, mainly because it's the DirectX API. It's everybody uses it, so it's something that it's more easy to introduce a framework of introducing and injecting the upscaler technology there. What they did is, given that, again, one of the main pros regarding FSR from AMD is it's open source, so it's way more easier to build a framework around that. At least that's my perception from the what he have here. But yeah, here Microsoft DirectX will submit for execution an app provided compute queue with UI rendered over the top and then presented as normal. So basically, it's that framework, but then the UI will change depending on the upscalers company. But yeah, here is the dimension that since Super Resolution 2 was originally written as a general purpose shader program and works on any graphics card that supports compute shader 6.2. I think again, I'm not sure how this works, this compute shader thingy. I know it has to do with the GPU stuff. Okay, Microsoft has integrated the core processing of AMD FSR into the DirectSR runtime. As such, as long developers prepare the requiring pre-processing and parameters, the game will be able to run seamlessly without writing specific FSR2 code. So it's like a mainframe where the other companies like the Intel and NVIDIA can inject or complement the FSR2 kind of framework that they built on and make it their own. And what they only have to do is provide like common inputs for the algorithm there, which is all of these ones, which basically makes their own proprietary thing. It's the fact that these parameters here make their own proprietary upscaler technology there. But it's good to see at least we got a framework to work with, at least from the developer side. When they want to implement everything on a game, I think it will be more useful, and I think it opens up the ability of all games coming out from the gate to support the free main upscaler technologies there. I think it's good for us consumers at least have that ability to with the direct SR thing happening here. Again, this is just now a matter of I don't know, for example, NVIDIA not locking out game developers to just be DLSRs, their upscaler technology be exclusive to that game. This might happen, I think, but at least now developers can introduce all of the FSR, not FSR, sorry, the upscaler technologies with this DirectSR thing here, which is always good. Not so good news, the chip war still continues. Again, this basically it's a response. People again, the spin that some people make it about this. Basically, China now banned Intel and AMD and even Microsoft on government PCs. With, if you think about it, in a country of at least 1 billion people there, and it's very government heavy there. It's a huge market, and at least for government PCs, they are not. They are banning basically out of the gate any kind of Intel, AMD chips, and even Microsoft software there. Again, the same way that when US did, I don't know how long it's been, at least a year ago, with the banning of UAE chips and anything regarding that company. Because they were not safe and reliable, and they invoked security matters or whatever, national security, something like that. This was basically bound to happen as a response. And yeah, especially for Intel, there is around from their year-on-year kind of a sales there in terms of market share, 27%, like a quarter of their market comes from China. And the fact that the government itself officially is doing this kind of ban of the chips, it does not bode well. Also, it came regarding the recent chip ban from USA regarding the high-end GPUs from NVIDIA, and also from their AI accelerator stuff. Also from some of the AMD ones were banned because of the specifications there. And of course, you remember the 4090 Dragon Edition or something like that, that they made on purpose to be in line with the sanctions there. And also, AMD, they did their own thing. They got the GRE, but that was just something that was not because of the chip ban. But yeah, the companies, to a certain degree, they just want to sell their product to whatever market is willing to accept their product. But yeah, this will just pressure the companies. And of course, even at the local level, in terms of authority, they are even forcing them to remove Microsoft Windows as their primary operating system. I think that the Windows stuff, it can be more, I know, justified there, because in terms of like CRM kind of a thing there, which is client management stuff, which is database stuff. I think proprietary systems work a little bit better because they can be more focused on managing everything. And I think even in terms of regulating government kind of databases, I think the less dependent that you are in like in open source things, if you manage to close arrange like an operating system that is closed in the closed loop, so only I don't know in terms of security how it works, but I suppose it will work better than just installing Windows, and being a little bit more open to any kind of malware or any kind of viruses or any kind of things that might interfere with the integrity of the system itself. And this is as for China as for any other country that uses software, which is basically all of them, to operate their government things there. But yeah, and of course, as an alternative regarding this banning of the chips, they put a lot of in-house companies there, and UAA and Pitium are on the top of the list on recommendations there. And yeah, this is not going to bode very well for Intel and AMD, not mainly because of their own fault. It's mainly because they are American traded companies, and yeah, this just the war itself on this kind of on the chip side things, it doesn't bode well. It will reduce what they, in terms of growth and what they can produce there, and it might increase prices by the end of the day for us consumers, because again, they just want to have their margins, their profit margins, and if they cannot make more of them, they will just increase the price to have more profit from each unit they sell. At least that's my thought there, I think. Again, I'm not sure, but yeah, this is not going well. Even with the CHIPS Act from the United States trying to get foundries there, I don't think it's going to work. It can be put in doubt even in the short term, just getting that investment, given that the projected volume of sales will not justify open more factories to manufacture chips, because if they are basically starting to get banned on a huge marketplace, which is the Chinese market, I think it's going to be a little bit more complicated, and the fact that the foundries, the TSMCs, usually are from in Taiwan, which for all intents and purposes is recognized as China. Yeah, it's going to be difficult, because if they really want to, they just stop making those high-end chips for those companies, and that's it. It's to a certain extent game over, because all of the high-end foundries there, and they are already announced like 2 nanometers, 3 nanometers thing is there. They are already planned out everything there. Even for example for Apple, they still I think they still depend a lot on TSMC things. I think it's their main client there. But yeah, if it comes to that point, China just shut down all the foundries there, and basically it's game over for a few years for like high-end chips there, at least for the American companies. But again, of course, there will be a blowback, because if you don't manufacture things, you don't make money out of it, it puts the company in a bad position. But in the medium long term with some, again, injection from government money that can be turned around. But yeah, it's not looking good. When you start just putting yourself in this kind of economic wars with a huge with a market of 1 billion people, and then people tend to forget that China has their own market in the South Asia, and at the BRICS countries plus South America. I think it has some influence there, Middle Eastern ones. Again, this could end badly for American companies, but hopefully not. I hope they just figure out a way to handle these things, and people can enjoy the good products that AMD and Nvidia has to offer when they have to offer. But yeah, not good news here. And continue with the bad news. We got this thing, like a new kind of technology, TraceMark. It's basically a new solution for the Denuvo's Irdeto to stop game leaks. So Irdeto is like the mother company from Denuvo's Denuvo. Denuvo is hailed, it's got a hail famed thing because all the games that launch with Denuvo, they have some performance issues here and there. Mainly because how Denuvo works, it's inject themselves to a certain degree in game files, so it is an extra burden for the PC to get around and work a way out of have to perform Denuvo workloads there. We saw that some comparisons, I think, especially from Resident Evil games. I think the last one, the big one, was Resident Evil Village. I think it got Denuvo, and it got some performance things there that when the exclusivity of Denuvo being on Resident Evil 8, the performance increased a little bit there. But yeah, and in some games it's just a bloodbath in terms of performance there. The way it compares before and after Denuvo is being removed, it's huge. And now with this TraceMark thing, what they are aiming for is to allow developers to assign something distinctive to its game files, like a watermark kind of a thing, which is something unique and invisible to others. Basically, it's on the game files, creates a watermark, let's say, and if when we have these kind of leaks and rumors and everything that come about regarding games with, I don't know, even when you don't have like screenshots on like a video file, but when something happens with this kind of leaks, in the inside company, they can basically supposedly backtrace and see from which computer it leaked from. Basically, from what I am understanding, what they're trying to do, it's basically every computer has its own distinct watermark kind of a thing there. And even, of course, when it comes with usually alpha, beta testing, and quality Q&A things on the final stages of the game, sometimes when it comes more leaks, they can pinpoint on those computers where it might come from. Again, this is going to be a huge pain in the ass in terms of performance, for sure, because I don't see a way of them. I'm not sure if they are going to be able, for example, when the game launches, for them to uninstall this from the from the game files there, and it's a way for them to try to be embedded there on the industries. It's like another point sale there. I don't know. This is not bodes well, because at the end somebody will make it around this. We see pirated games that even with the games that come with Denuvo, the pirated games don't have Denuvo. So in in a certain way, they perform even better comparatively with the official version of the game. We saw that in some testings. I don't remember where, but I remember seeing some videos when the game came out, and I think Resident Evil 8 was one of them. People just went about, downloaded the pirated game, and did a side-by-side comparison with the official version and the pirated version, and it performed better than the official version with had Denuvo. I think it was Resident Evil 8 Village. Yeah, this is not good. These guys just are grabbing for straws to a certain degree, because they make a movie out of this, of marketing this as like a huge special tool, but it's going to break the bank. It's going to increase again the budget of the games without the need to. But yeah, it is what it is. And we were talking about Resident Evil 8. Supposedly, again, got this kind of leaks here. Supposedly Resident Evil 9 and Monster Hunter Wilds are rumored to be open world. Kind of like they're trying to follow up on Trackers Dogma 2 with open world design there. That's why I've been telling that I was very interested in seeing what Dragon's Dogma 2 could do with the engine itself regarding the open world side of the things there. Again, I think the performance issues that the game itself has with the CPU bottlenecking stuff there, especially on high counts of NPCs. It's I don't know if it is can be pinpointed to the engine itself or the way they managed to go about the game, and the fact that the game needs a lot of processing power for calculating all the interactions that the NPCs have. If there is like too much, or if it is not even well optimized, which I think it's one of the main things, is not that well optimized to go about with this engine. But yeah, this is not for sure. Dragon's Dogma 2 is not the best showcase of the open world and the side of things with this engine, the Capcom in-house engine there, because it performs excellent on the Resident Evil franchises, even the remakes. It was just a matter of time for them to try to jump in open world. I think probably the Monster Hunter Wilds will be a better showcase of the capabilities of the engine itself, mainly because of they already have a foundation of working with open worlds, especially with Monster Hunter World there, and I think they might be able to use better the capabilities of this engine, because it's more about the engine itself than the game itself. But yeah, we might get some announcements regarding, in terms of official, regarding especially with Resident Evil 9. I think we will have the title of Apocalypse, but yeah. Again, it's not official, but yeah, probably we will have the sequel, because supposedly Resident Evil Village sold well. But yeah, probably we will have to throughout this year some announcement here. But yeah, hopefully we get. And talking about Dragon's Dogma 2 performance, I will leave here with a video from Gamers Nexus. They did their own benchmarks there, and they went very thoroughly and basically explain kind of the difference between what kind of CPUs and GPUs bottlenecks are to a certain degree, how it affects the performance comparing to the wildlands or the open world itself, and the city sides and the towns and the such. They go about that in this very in-depth video, and I found it very interesting how they because Intel has like a new analysis tool there regarding to analyze bottlenecks, specifically to analyze bottlenecks from the GPU or the CPU, and other stuff, and the millisecond stuff, which is like the busy status of the GPU compared with the CPU. Got a lot of good tools there in terms of analysis, and to check benchmarking and see what kind of struggling the game is on or not. But yeah, I recommend you watching this video. Then you will understand a little bit what's kind of the overall scheme things happening on Dragon's Dogma 2. Again, they will not present a solution because they are not developers of the game, but it's a very interesting video nevertheless. And basically this is it regarding news. I'm just going for some deals. I only bringing here for today Steam deals. Got a couple of them. Got some of them. Which is Mass Effect Legendary Edition, again, the trilogy with all the DLC associated with the remastered kind of a thing there. In terms of graphics, 85% off. We got Dead Space Remake, 60% off in both editions. We got Days Gone 75% off, so usually it's this price where the game is at when it enters on sale. We got the Plague Tale stuff. This is a bundle on Steam. For you to get the discount, you have to buy the bundle here, which stays around 26, which is the same if you it's usually this price here. And again, we got the Requiem just for the bundle. We got the Nier thingy here, which is Nier Replicant 60% and also 60% for the Nier Automata. With this is the Game of the Year edition, which is with all the goodies there. We got also Atomic Heart. It's still on sale until 55% off. Basically in all of the editions. I think the premium edition is the one that has a playable DLC there. We got also God of War 50% off. Yeah, it's still a recent game, so we will only see 75% in a couple of years or so. And lastly, we got The Last of Us Part 1, sorry, 33% off. Again, the base game is more than enough, and the main story here, it's what makes this game great, in my opinion. And of course, with the improved graphics and the such, I will eventually go about it because I really enjoyed the story there from the first game. And with some higher graphic quality there, I think it will be an enjoyable experience for me to go about this game here. And yeah, this is what I got for you today. I'm just going to wrap up with a plug on my Patreon for access support. The access support will be mainly for storage, for me to be able to get backups of stuff that I have to do for my clients, and of course some extra space for the videos that I do for the channel. But at this moment in time, that's my main focus there with the Patreon thing here. And well, that's it, guys. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. Until then, Kunamy Master out.